Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Peter Jennings, and I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry. Excited to be back here at FantasyLabs, this time doing a model preview for the Olympics. First time ever doing a model preview for the Olympics, so excited about that, and it should be a fun tournament to watch with some of the best players in the world. Obviously, the top guys decide not to play in the Olympics here, but still have guys like Henrik Stenson, Bubba Watson, Ricky Fowler. So some big names still in the tournament. And it's going to be a lot of fun because DraftKings has a lot of big tournaments, including a $1 million tournament with only a $20 buy-in. So excited for that. A little bit about the course just real quick. It's a par 71. There's no course data on it because it was built specifically for this. There's 4 par 5s, which means there's an extra par 3. It's a little over 7,100 yards, so not super long or anything like that, which obviously you can figure that out based on it having 5 par 3s. But really kind of hard to figure out a course angle strategy. I decided to go with distance and just birdie making in this model, in addition to 2 stats I always weight. So let's dive into the model specifically here. I have long-term adjusted round at 29, which is pretty high for me. Normally I'm in the mid-20s with that slider. I have long-term driving distance at 5, so I went with driving distance just to try to get more birdies with the par 5s. I didn't weight it heavily with either long-term or short-term, but decided to take that angle over the accuracy angle. In addition to that, I have long-term eagle score at 3 points, which I seldom weight, but given that there are 4 par 5s, I'm going to take a gander and shoot for that just because it's so big on DraftKings. Long-term birdie score at 12. I have recent green and regulation score at 37, so I'm really trying to capture guys in good current form. Recent driving distance at 4 points. Recent field score at 5 points, which is an interesting tab here. And basically what I'm trying to get out of this is identifying guys who are playing in tough spots, because there are guys competing in this that have played on Asian tours, Whip.com, Euro tours, so I want the strength of the field to be in my model, which is why I used it here. I seldom use that in general, but specifically for this tournament, I think it's smart. You can actually also use this if you watch the John Deere. I didn't specifically use it in the John Deere model, but it would be a great slider that I have messed around with in that as well. Recent eagle score at 2, recent birdie score at 3, weighted those less than long term because there's more variance in short term rounds. And then I don't have anything else weighted at all in this model. So back test around 4 points above expectation at 3.98, which is pretty solid. And I like what it's spitting out. So my favorite golfers for sure are Henrik Stenson and Emiliano Grillo. We had a scare with Grillo that, or I think it's Grillo actually is how they want it pronounced. But I've been calling him Grillo forever. But Grillo lost his clubs, but then he found them late last night, and he had a funny message on Twitter that I retweeted where he's holding his bag. So as a professional golfer, I can only imagine how much they love their clubs. I am a big fan of mine as a 10 handicap guy. So Cabrera, another interesting play. I think he's a great fit here. A guy who's going to hit a lot of greens. Keimer just has shown up big in some events this year. We know about Kuchar. A great play for value is probably going to be Vegas. If we look at his game log, he's just absolutely on fire. I think he's a great choice. Showed up even at the PGA Championship, won the Canadian Open. So I'm going to be on him quite a bit in this tournament as well. Scrolling a little bit farther down, Pan gets rated a little bit lower, even though he has great stats and results, just because the quality hasn't been as high. But certainly a great game log if you're looking at it. But again, these are not nearly the same caliber of tournaments that other people are playing in. Rose, we know about him. Patrick Reed, Sergio. I mean, all those guys I think deserve consideration. I'm on Stenson and Grillo and Watson. Those are my 3 favorites. So I'm happy this model spits them out ahead of those other guys. But certainly you can make an argument, especially with ownership, for some of these other players. Byung-Hung An is fine. I like Danny Lee, who's a little farther down here as well. Soren Keldson, I think, is a fine play. It's a tough field. I mean, just looking through down here, Danny Lee, like I said, not rating as well in this model, but I still like him. Graham Dillette, I could see posting a decent round. Obviously, a great ball striker. The putting's normally the bugaboo. So you never know if he's going to get hot with a flat stick, and he could be a good tournament play. And then the rest of the field is just not that great. I like David Hearn. Danny Willett's cheaper than a lot of the other guys who are elite golfers, so I think he's a reasonable option as well. But just kind of staying here towards the top. I really like all these guys in the expensive range. I like Stenson, Grillo, and Watson. And then Vegas is probably my favorite value play out of all those guys. Cole Starts is rating well, which I think makes sense. And that's kind of the gist of it. So hope this is helpful for you guys. Other courses, I'll have a lot more knowledge. There's history as well with other situations, but this is kind of just a random, new event. Obviously, with the Olympics, they haven't had golf in the Olympics in such a long time. And in addition to that, it's a no-cut event. So different strategy. Chase those birdies, chase those eagles, and good luck in these contests. As always, hope to see more Fantasy Labs subscribers at the top of the leaderboard.